なんかあるんじゃないかな。ほら、あった。これだ。
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so
あっ
beautiful.
た、サボテン。
I imagine so. I merely sell them.
The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something. Familiar spine. Is this what I found in my dustbin?
よし。
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
観察する。化粧をしている。おしゃれかが悲しみを隠すため。視線を避けているのが注意が散漫なのか。花屋の仕事に適さない。はい。喪中のフレミング夫人は夫の死を忘れには喪中であることを示す胸の飾りを身につけている。高価な布地で作られた服は仕事には不向きだ。靴には泥がついており、ここに車に履き替えた。彼女の視線は頻繁に通りへと向けられ、何かを探しているようだ。誰かを待っている。フレミング夫人は死別した夫との思い出を大切にしているが、化粧とおしゃれな服が感傷のないことばかり。難しい。フレミング夫人は涙に濡れた頬を化粧で隠している。高価な布地で作られた服は屋外での仕事には不向きだ。靴に泥をついてここに車に履き替えた。高価に着飾ることで悲しみを忘れようと努力を努めているが、夫の喪中であることを示す胸飾りを身につけ続けている。頻繁に遠くへ向かえる視線は感情が剥離してしまっている証拠だ。あ、なんか続きがあったまあ、続きあったねこれね。フレミング夫人は死別した夫との思い出を大切にしているが、化粧とおしゃれな服装から話を乗り越えようとしているのがわかる。めかし込んでいるのは誰かの注意を引くためか。再びおしゃれた。難しいな。多分難しい。どっちなんやろ。下かな。嘆き続けているのか、乗り越えようとしてるの。乗り越えようとしてるのかな。これにしようか。
Mrs. Fleming, you look particularly lovely today. Is there a reason?
Does a woman need a reason to look or feel beautiful?
No, but your distant look suggests you seek one man's gaze in particular.
Who told you that?
Nobody. Merely a keen eye and some simple deduction.
Well, I'll kindly ask you to keep your keen eye to yourself, Mr. Holmes.
I'll be off.
I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting The flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy. So we see each other.
よくあるパティーンじゃねえか
We
それ
once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he
足元
approached.
こぼつかない
But since then,
あ
we've
身長
never
高くしよう
spoken.
と
I
してる
often
け
see
ど
him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would edge such longing onto his
おや
face.
おやおやお互いにお熱じゃない
People don't tend to come out for flowers when it rains. Perhaps I should try selling door to door.
さて
Do you know anything about this?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
これについて何か知ってるかどうかって今は貼り付けてるしあれによるってことかなさてバーンズ氏貴様の容疑はもう固まってるぞお前お前この犬使っ
Oh,
て
there's a dog now. Who's a
お
good
近
boy?
づきになりたかったんじゃねえのか
I like bookshops. One of the few spots in London where you are shunned for making a racket.
なるほど他はどこになんもないのかなんか女性が立ってるえーっとバーンズここまでは決まってるのかどうだ、違うしらみつぶしにやってるこれ多分亀裂も入ったこれですかけなさそうこれでどうだ違う開いたそういうことだったんだろバーンズバーンズは枯れた花を置き花屋であるフレミング夫人の注意を引こうとしている花は見かねた夫人が水やりの助言のため店を訪れるように締めくるためのものか単に必死になっているのかどっちか俺は前者だと思いますねバーンズは身分を隠し机の上の目録で注文したサボテンを夫人に送った贈り物としては疑問符がつくが目録で不老不死の象徴とされるサボテンは彼にとっては永遠の愛の象徴なのだろうこのサボテンがベーカー街 221B でストランド市の上に落ちたものであることは明らかだよし
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
やばどうなってんの逆さに吊るされている腹かっさばかれてんじゃんさて
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
おめえが恋してるのは
Mr.
バー
Barnes,
ンズ
I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled. You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer.
ちょっと鼻毛出て。
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
出てこい。
Alright then.
いや別にいいよ。人を恋するってことは大事なことだ。
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus in your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your
言い
romantic
過ぎやろ、お
gesture.
前。
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
僕の専門じゃない。ええだろ。
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the obtruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to
心配
overthink
でして
things.
なって。
Thank you.
So at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
I... Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
まずは新聞だ。巷で小石の爆発事故が発生。ロンドン港周辺の住民は昨夜突然の爆音で目を覚まし、爆発と赤い農園に怯えることとなった。ヨーロッパへ航行中に夕方寄港し第3埠頭に停泊中だった商船モスクワ内部で複数の爆発が発生したのである。事故に関する港湾当局の公式発表はなく、事故発生時に乗船していた人間がいたのかは不明である。目撃者の証言では小石でいいよなこれ、川に漏出しているようだ。しかし事故現場は閉鎖され、作業員や一般人の立ち入りは禁止されている。事故の詳細が全て明らかになるには時間を要することだろう。
Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
よし、次
Farewell,
だ。
Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
俺がよろしく伝えておいてやるよ。
let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The
Yeah,
Strand is on me.
いいよ、そんなことしなくていいよ。めんどくさい。エグゾバドソン君。セフィロトツリーかなんかだっけ俺。エグゾバドソン君。